What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 12 of Project Tech Gaming. I'm your host for this week, Kelvin and Rob, and I'm alongside Robert Garcia. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, man, what's going on?
Not much, man. I'm exhausted. You know, today was a long day of work.
It's so
and
tiring.
Is
it the weather?
It was rough. I was just busy as hell at work. I didn't catch a break. It was tough. We had a lot of ED patients, and I just couldn't stop moving. It was tough.
It's that kind of week, you know?
Yeah, it just doesn't stop, dude. But enough about that. I want to get into the news, but I did want to kind of segue a little bit into kind of just get back into what we were doing. Like, I want to know what you were doing this week, because I know what I was doing this week. I was watching a shit ton of movies, which is rare for me because I don't have enough time, obviously, throughout the day, especially with a baby. So I actually started watching Zack Snyder's Justice League. I finished that. I know you did too, and I just want to know your thoughts on, the movie. What'd you think?
So I watched it with my girlfriend. We didn't watch it in one shot just because it was so long to do the whole 4 hours. So we broke it up. We treated it almost like a series. So we maybe watched it in 4 separate times.
Right.
And that movie, I loved it.
You loved it. So
I loved that movie.
It.
I thought that movie was great. It was fantastic because of. Did you see the first one?
No.
I think that's part of it. Is that the first one was so bad that this made it that much better. Like, you were just like, this is like a redemption song for it, you know?
Well, I think I was in a great position because I never watched the first one. So I thought going into this, I'm like, a fresh newborn baby. Like, I didn't know anything about the previous ones. I'm not really a huge DC guy, so I don't really know much about some of the characters and stuff.
Yeah.
But so I'm going in there fresh, So I'm like, all right, everybody has like a bad take on this. Everybody has like a bad taste in their mouth from the first one. I'm going in there like a fresh newborn baby. I thought I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good. There were some scenes I didn't quite understand. It was just kind of like, okay, why did you?
Yeah,
take
you
kind
of had to watch
the other.
Batman vs Superman, which we did, but that was so long ago.
I did. Yeah, I watched that, and I refreshed myself too. I kind of watched like the last scene or so, just to kind of it was good. I thought I give it, if I out of 10, I'd probably give it like a solid, maybe like a 7.5, maybe closer to an 8. Mine's
gonna be like a straight 8. Like, it wasn't perfect by any means, just because it had to be like cut up and like redirected and stuff like that. And but again, if you saw the first one. You don't watch the first one. Like
I'm done. I'm not watching it.
Yeah, don't watch that one. It's really bad. It's really bad. So
I thought they did a good job. I thought they did a good job with the characters. I think they did a great job with Cyborg. Obviously, I'm not going to spoil anything.
Yeah,
but
Cyborg was great.
They did a great job. I enjoyed it. It was good. It was fun. I also watched King Kong. Not the King Kong versus Godzilla. I haven't watched that yet, but I did watch, to refresh myself. I did watch Skull Island. So I never watched it before, but I wanted to kind of get into it. And man, that movie is it caught me by surprise. It was really good. I enjoyed it a lot. Did you watch it?
I haven't seen it yet, so I'm definitely maybe I'll even watch it this weekend. We'll see.
You should watch it. You'd be pleasantly surprised.
I heard the Godzilla movie is good. That's the thing. So
like the separate one, like the one from 2019.
The newer, that one, I saw that one. That one's good. But
I didn't like
King Kong versus Godzilla is.
I heard mixed things about it. I heard it's good, but some people are like, it's kind of whack. I don't know. It was an eventful week for me because I watched a lot of movies.
Yeah, you able to watch some movies, yeah.
And again, I'm telling you right now, I'm putting you on the spot now with the 4 people that watch this shit. You better watch Invincible right now.
Okay.
That shit is fire,
I'll watch it. It's on Amazon,
gotta watch
right?
it. It's on Amazon. Just watch it. There's like 3 episodes. It's cool. It's literally if you like take what's that movie? What's that show called again? The Boys.
The Boys.
If you take The Boys and like any like DC movie, cartoon, and just like they had a baby, basically. It is fire. It's dope.
Okay, I'll check. I will 100% check it out. The fact that you're like saying it out of the gate, like it's fire, like go watch it. Cool. That means it's good.
You'll be surprised. You'll watch the first 20 minutes, and you're like, all right, I kind of see where this is going. That ending of that first episode, you're gonna be like, oh shit, okay, I'm in.
All right, I'm excited. I'm definitely gonna take a look at it maybe tonight. So
yeah. Well, Rob, I wish this was a movie podcast, but it's not. It's actually a gaming / tech podcast. So let's get right into it. So we have a lot to talk about today. if you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, we talk about games, we talk about tech here. We have a lot to talk about today, so let's start with going through the topics. Topic number 1: CDPR reconsidering multiplayer for Cyberpunk 2077. Kingdom Hearts out on PC. Razer goes through with the concept RGB mask. Charizard sells for $300,000 at an auction, and so much more. We're going to talk about a bunch more. But first, we want to get into Game of the Week. Ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't know, Game of the Week is basically we play any type of game that we want, and we just kind of give our impressions of it, give you a thumbs up or a thumbs down, and we just kind of give our take on the game. And this week is Rob's turn. So, Rob, what did you play?
I played Final Fantasy XII, the Zodiac Age.
Interesting choice, I might say. I was kind of surprised when I saw the thumbnail posted up.
Yeah, I always like when it first showed up on Game Pass, I was like, I played that game when I was younger.
Yeah.
I think I remember actually renting it from Blockbuster.
Wow.
For like PS2.
You're taking it way back.
Way back in the day. That's a stupid game to rent from Blockbuster, by the way.
Yeah, honestly,
it's like
you
a long
were
game.
A stupid child if you thought you were going to beat an RPG in the, 2 days that they let you rent it?
Yeah, I think I'm like 99% sure that's what I did. But yeah, so this game obviously is made by Square Enix, and it's Final Fantasy XII. It's a remaster of the original, the one for PS2.
Okay.
So picked this game because I was just like, let me see if I'll like it again. I'm older. I appreciate that kind of stuff more. You know what I mean? Maybe I just it just kept my attention just because I was a kid.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, you were a stupid child back then. So you were like, maybe I just wasn't into it because I was dumb. You know what I mean? That's how I think of it.
Yeah, exactly. Like I didn't respect the game elements and stuff like that. So going into it, it's Final Fantasy, right? The story is there. There's lore behind it. I'm not going to go into spoilers, but there's a kingdom and there's bad guys trying.
Spoilers. God forbid you go for spoilers. Exactly. It's such a brand new game, you know.
Exactly, right? But in case someone wants to not go, I didn't even play that much through the story. I just played through the intro, but bad guy trying to take over the country, and the main character's name is Vaughn. That's who you. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and say, people shit on Titus from Final Fantasy X and his voice acting.
Oh.
This guy, awful. He sounds like a little kid mix, he sounds like a 13-year-old boy, but trying to be a 13-year-old boy.
He sounds like a 13-year-old man, like a man trying to sound like a 13-year-old,
or a woman trying to sound like a 13-year-old.
Oh,
you know
damn!
What I mean?
All right.
Yeah, it's really bad. I was right off the jump. I was like, no, this is not it. But I think all the other characters are pretty good. Him, he's bad,
and he's the main character though, so that's kind of off-putting, though.
And I also did I looked at comparisons between the remaster and the original.
Yeah.
Not crazy. It's not a crazy change.
Oh, okay.
I think the original's still playable. You could still definitely play it without going blind or whatever.
So, what about this did you enjoy? What was it that first of all, did you enjoy? Were you kind of pleasantly surprised based, comparing it from last time that you played the game years ago?
Yeah, I definitely remember. I forgot a lot about it, but I think I enjoyed it more this time around than I did when I was younger. Mm-hmm. So this is kind of where Final Fantasy was leaning towards not being so. This is the last Final Fantasy before it got really linear. I'll say that. Okay. Because at 13, it starts getting very linear after that. I don't know if you remember 13, but 12 is not linear at all. 13
was with lightning.
Right? Yep. So
I gotta say, I was watching you play this game when you posted this, and I wasn't interested. I wasn't very. It didn't grab my attention. It just looked very. I mean, I don't know if it just has anything to do with the fact that it's your older game, but it just didn't do it for me. The fighting looked kind of sluggish, and it just looked very tedious. And I don't know. It just looked jarring. I was confused as to why they went that route with the fighting system. I don't know if you can give more information on that, or if you liked it or not, or what'd you think?
Yeah, it's still the turn-based fighting system that.
But it has that weird mechanic, right? Like where you have to like watch that like line or something. Watch the
well,
the
that's
gauge.
how it always is for a lot of the, like Final Fantasy X, right? You had to wait for your gauge to build up, and then you could attack, but you were standing still. It was turn-based. This is turn-based. It's still basically it is turn-based. It's just you can move.
Sure. Yeah.
So I think that's what makes it kind of like, I don't want to say bad or anything like, but confusing that you can still move while you're not stationary. You know, like that gives like, oh, I can go out and like hit A and attack somebody, but you actually can't. You have to wait for that meter to build up and then you do your attack. So I could see how you didn't like that because. So I'll give you an example. If I wasn't moving, if my character just hit the battle, I was just like standing, kind of like Pokemon, you know, or and would you like it better?
It depends. I don't know. I mean, I don't think I would like it better. I think it'd be okay. You know, I don't think I would really shit on it or anything like that. But to me, I don't know. Just based off of what I was looking from what you played, I didn't really get much out of it. I felt like it just wasn't really fun. It seemed like
it's a very it can be a very grindy game too.
It's one of those games like that's the hard thing about doing game of the week for RPGs where like you're really not getting anything out of it up until a certain part of the game. Yeah. And if we're only playing the introduction or if we're only playing like 20 minutes of it, it's kind of hard to kind of grasp exactly how that game actually plays.
Yeah. I would say for this game, I enjoyed it for what I played. Like I do want to go back and play it. So it definitely has my attention, but it's probably not for everybody. Again, it's not a game for you because again, it's very grindy. It's very slow.
I'm looking at it through your eyes. So I would have to try it out for myself and see. Maybe it's completely different when I actually get my hands on it. Again, I'm just going through the perspective of what you're playing and it's probably a different feel when I actually have hands on with it. So I'm not gonna like ditch it out just now. I'll probably give it a shot. I'll probably try it out and see, what I think about it then. But based off of what I saw, I was like, it's all right. It's cool. It's fine.
Yeah. I mean, it's similar to like, Dragon Age. I don't know if you remember playing Dragon Age, but
I've never played it, but I know of it plenty. Yeah.
So
it's one of those. It's like, you can't fault it because again, you are playing an older game, right? It's just a nice clean coat, but at the end of the day, it's still an older game. So some of the mechanics are a little off, and it's kind of aged in that sense. But if you enjoyed it, would you give it a thumbs up or thumbs down? Or
I'm gonna give this one I give it a thumbs up. I'm gonna give it 1 thumbs up.
Oh, we're doing.
I'm gonna give it 1. I'm not gonna give it a 2. I'm gonna give it a 1 thumbs up, just because again, it's not probably for everybody. It's definitely, it's more of the grindier Final Fantasies, right? Like if you're used to playing Final Fantasy Remake or you're used to playing Final Fantasy 13, where it's like super linear and this is where you have to go. This is not the game for you. This is more of like you can go out into the world and kill and fight things right off the jump. It doesn't make you have to go through the story right away to do anything. So it really depends. I'm gonna keep playing it, and maybe I'll give you my thoughts about it as we progress. But all right. I'm gonna give it a thumbs up. I'll give it a thumbs up.
Where can you find this game?
It is on Game Pass, Xbox, Steam, basically anywhere you can get the game. It's on PS4. Again, nice. I played the Zodiac Age, which is a remaster.
Right. Cool.
Yeah. Go play it. It's free on Game Pass.
Awesome. All right. On to topic number 1. Let's get started with the show. CD Projekt Red, reconsidering multiplayer for CyberPunk 2077. So this was announced way back when the game was almost ready to release, where they kind of announced the not a tacked on, but like an expansion to the story, which is a multiplayer game. We don't know anything about it. We didn't know anything about it at the time, but they just kind of announced this, hey, by the way, we're going to be releasing post-launch multiplayer tune-in. Now, the president of CD Projekt Red, Adam Kaczynski, stated, previously we hinted that our next AAA would be a multiplayer Cyberpunk game. But we have decided to reconsider this plan given our new, more systemic and agile approach. Instead of primarily focusing on one big online experience or game, we are focusing on bringing online into all of our franchises one day. This is from IGN. So this is tough, right? Because now they're kind of backpedaling, right? And obviously it has to probably do with the fact that CyberPunk is not doing so hot as far as the media right now. It sold super well, right? It sold fairly well. But when it comes to its how do I say this? Like,
there's
when
no
it comes
more
to,
steam. There's no more steam. The hype is gone.
There's no more steam to it. The hype is done. And obviously the backlash from how the game was released so poorly has caused their strategy and all that stuff to kind of like, you know, take a little turn here.
Shift,
so
yeah.
what do you think? What do you think about this? Like, do you think the multiplayer will actually come out, or is this something that they're going to release way post launch, or what do you think?
I don't know. It just seems like they release the game and they're like, all right, guys, here you go. This is it. This is what we promised you for all these years. And that's it. And I remember when they first came out, obviously everyone and their mother was playing that game, right? And I'll tell you right now, I didn't beat it. I know you didn't beat it. I lost interest in it very fast because I'm like, this is not what they promised. But again, I had expectations that were super high. I think
everybody did. I mean, based off of
but no, I had some friends that went into it that they didn't watch trailers, they didn't see anything for it, and they enjoyed it. But since my expectations were so high for this game, coming from The Witcher and stuff like that, I don't see it now. I don't think people are going to be as interested with the multiplayer anymore, unless the multiplayer is like some groundbreaking thing that's like, you got to play this.
But based off of what Adam is saying right now, it doesn't seem like they're even approaching that scenario at this point. I don't think I mean, I think their plans are changing from what it looks like, right?
Yeah, I don't. But
think we have decided to reconsider this plan given our new systemic and agile approach. I feel like they obviously. I feel like they were working on this, obviously, right? But then with all the backlash and all the stuff that they have to really fix right now, as far as like even getting the PlayStation 4 game onto the PSN store, like that's still not, you know, it's still not there 100+ days later.
Yeah,
so
I think they should just focus on making it single player, add expansions to it, flesh out the story, flesh out the city, kind of do like what's that game? No Man's Sky, like put everything, you know.
I don't even know if they can. You think this can be a redemption story like No Man's Sky? I don't think so.
Depends on the expansion. Honestly, depends on what they do with the expansions and the updates. To go
No Man's Sky's situation is a little bit different, though. No Man's Sky situation was like this is from Hello Games. They basically they. I mean, I guess it's kind of the same, but they promised a game that they didn't really deliver.
Yeah, they didn't deliver upon. Yeah, exactly.
But it wasn't as shady as how Project Red is turning it out to be, right? Like from what Hello Games did, they completely, like, once they got the backlash, they radio silent. They completely gone under the radar, right? And then they started releasing all the stuff that, you know, was breaking the game and all the stuff that they did promise on. And then from there, they started adding more on top of that. And now it's a completely different game. Like if you play that game now compared to when it first came out, it's a completely different game. I feel like with CD Projekt Red right now, I feel like they're not only the game was poorly like rated, it was also the fact that they're them as a company, I feel like is like their reputation is tarnished. I feel like.
Yeah, so I think they're coming in, you know, they came from The Witcher and you know that game is amazing and everyone raved about it and like they're like the company, you know, like they can't fuck up.
Yeah,
they can't.
They were doing everything like
so.
They were, like,
you
great,
think this is the game that kind of like that killed them? Basically, is this
I mean,
the game that
not
tarnished
quite
their
yet,
reputation?
but it definitely tarnished their reputation 100%. It's gonna take a long time for them to get that trust back from you know gamers because they promised on a game that they completely didn't. Not only did they not deliver, but they also essentially came out with a broken game that is almost unplayable.
And you got to blame the
consoles.
people up top. You know, like the people that are making these decisions. Like market it. And guess what happened? It's just like it's everywhere, and then now we get it, and it's just like it could never ever live up to the expectations that people.
You think the developers that were working on it every day, they didn't think, okay, this is really not ready yet.
Yeah,
but they had no
all
choice.
the delays, right? All
they had
the delays,
no choice still. They had to,
and then
because of the
COVID was
higher-ups.
hitting them too. Like, it just,
Yeah, it's sad to see because this game had a lot of potential and it was probably the biggest game of 2020, but it didn't live up to, to what it was supposed to.
Yeah. Lastly, to answer your question, can CD Projekt Red make this better? Yeah, but it's going to take a shit ton of work. It's going to take a long time and a shit ton of work. But
at that point, would anyone care? That's the big problem. When they actually, if they do pull like No Man's Skies, will there be anybody there to kind of like congratulate them or something like that?
Yeah, we'll have to see.
Topic number 2, Kingdom Hearts on PC, and it's expensive. So this, obviously we're major Kingdom Hearts fans.
Huge.
This should be like right up our alley. I don't even this doesn't do anything for me. Obviously we've played the games, so we're not beat all the
games. Yeah, exactly. We have them all.
But it would be nice to play this game at 70 frames, 80 frames per second, like on, what I mean, like high fidelity. Like we have the PC capability.
I'm considering honestly getting it, like buying one of them.
Well, hold your horses here. So basically, it released Tuesday, right, March 30th, exclusive to the Epic Store, right? Cool. So this is basically
so annoying, by the way. That's annoying that it's just on Epic. Like, I feel like it should be on Steam. I don't know. Anyways,
again, to me, it's whatever. So every Kingdom Hearts game released on PC, and it goes as followed. Ready? So Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 plus 2.5 remix from $49. So basically, they're giving you like a launch discount right now, but in the future, it's going to be like this price point right here. So $49.99. Right now, it's $39.99. Kingdom Hearts HD 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue from $59.99 to $47.99. Kingdom Hearts 3 plus Remind, $59.99 to $47.99. And Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory, $59.99 to $47.99. If you were a diehard Kingdom Hearts fan and you wanted to purchase all of those at the same time, you'll be paying $183.96 for everything. That to me is not worth it. You're talking about games that are fairly old, and that's just insane. I think
it's very, very expensive. Like, if anything, they should be like
they
20 to 25.
They should have dropped these prices way down. These are launch prices. These games are old.
They're old games, yeah, and just because it's ported to PC, yeah, I don't agree with the pricing as well.
Old doesn't mean bad, but I'm just saying these games have been out for you can buy these games right now for half the price. Like, you don't have to spend just because you have it on PC.
On PlayStation, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, you get the hard copy. But again, that's what I'm saying. Like, it being on Epic and stuff like that, it's probably like this is what they were like the contract they came up with.
Oh, so you think this was Epic's doing?
Maybe. I'm not 100% sure, but it is expensive for a game that's been out, like you said, for a long time. Right? The Kingdom Hearts 3 one and Remind, that's whatever.
Kingdom Hearts Remind.
And the Melody, the new one.
The Melody one is fairly new, but it's $60. I don't know if that's a full-fledged $60 game. $60
The 2.8 one is kind of pricey for what it is.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, that's a little ridiculous. I don't know how they thought of those price points there, but I don't know. I think they kind of dropped the ball on that. If they had these games starting at like $20 to $30, I think that'd be a lot easier. Like, I would buy probably one of them. Maybe Kingdom Hearts 3 to try it out on my PC. Just because, like, why not? It's $20 or $30.
Yeah, I would probably go for the 1.5, 2.5.
I would try probably Melody of Memory. I haven't tried that game yet. So,
all right. So money aside.
Yeah.
Money aside. Let's get the pricing out of the way.
Okay.
If you're a new person, a new player who's never played Kingdom Hearts before, this is a good entry point.
Is it? You think so?
No. I'm saying, should you get this? Like, if you never played, I've never played Kingdom Hearts before. I don't have a console. I only have PC. I've always been a PC player.
Yeah.
Should I splurge the $40 and get Kingdom Hearts 1.5, 2.5 remix? Because at $40, you're getting 2 games plus more. So and then you go from there. Like, if you really enjoyed this,
if you break it down like that, sure, right? Like, you can do that. You could, like, okay, so I played the first one, I played the second one, I enjoyed it. Move on to the next, and then you go from there, right? That makes sense. But I I mean, yeah. So Kingdom Hearts 1.5 plus 2.5, it's $40. I mean, that is reasonable for now. But what if you don't get it right now? What if you get it later down the line?
There's always going to be discounts, though. You know that. You know they always discount the games and stuff like that. So eventually it'll come down. Probably.
I mean,
30.
it's telling you right here that it's from $49.99 right now. It's dropping it to $39.99. So it will drop.
They do say that there's gonna be sales on it. Not now, or when it comes back to $50, but there will be sales on in the future. So I think if you get this at sales price in the future, so maybe even wait. Right?
I would say wait. At this point, wait. There's no reason to buy that right now. I just think it shocked me how pricey these things are right now.
You know what I wish they did? I honestly wish they took all of these games and put it in a neat little package. And it was like, here are all the Kingdom Hearts games.
They did that.
$100.
They did that.
In here on PC?
Oh, not on PC.
That's what I'm saying. In PC, I wish they would have done Epic Games. Like, experience all the Kingdom Hearts game for $100.
So I when I did my research on this, I was looking into it. I'm like, oh, they're separate. And I think I even told you that when I was doing the doc. I'm like, oh, they're separated. Why? I thought this was like all in one package. And no, it's not. You have to buy them separately, which made me even more furious because I'm like, well, this is not. I thought this was just a one package deal and you'll get every single Kingdom Hearts game, which is ideal. This to me doesn't, I don't know. It doesn't scream like, yeah, you need to buy this day one. I say wait.
Here's the thing too. My last thought on this is that it's not like Kingdom Hearts are games that you can just play and like not continue with it, right? Like it's not like you play this game part one. It's like, do you need to play part one to understand part two? Be like, no, just play part two. In these games, you have to play all of them to understand what's going on. So you kind of have to spend all that money to experience the full story.
Yeah.
So that's what sucks about it, about that pricing is like, it's a very expensive entry point to get the full story.
Yeah.
Which
it's,
I would say
wait
until prices go down.
If you're interested in Kingdom Hearts, wait. Absolutely.
Yeah. But I might still get the 2.5. We'll see.
God damn it, Rob. All right, topic number 3. Razer goes through with concept RGB mask. So this is cool. I kind of like this story because this was our one of our topics for episode 1, like the very first episode that we did, right? And this was just like a concept design that they were talking about Razer, right? Now they're actually going along with it. This is a full-fledged mask that's going to be released to the public, which is pretty dope. So it was unveiled back in January when we started. Razer is going through with their concept RGB mask, considered like a smart mask. So Project Hazel includes active disc type ventilators, chroma RGB lighting, and voice projection. Transparent masks allowing for lip reading and the ability to see face cues when talking. The chroma RGB lighting, this is quotes from The Verge, allows 2 ventilators to glow and even automatically shine light onto your mouth when it gets dark, so others can see you speaking. It's a smart mask that's loaded with tech, but Razer insists that it's comfortable to wear thanks to adjustable ear loops. What do you think about this, Rob? Like, this is actually happening. Are you going to get
the price yet? They say the price?
There's no price. There's no release date. They're just saying, we're doing this.
I could do without the RGB, sorry.
You think so? I'm like, fuck, do it. Let's go. Let's fucking go, dude.
No, you know what I can see this being used for? I'm going to be honest with you. I could see people at like raves and like concerts and like, you know, big venue events and stuff like that.
Me at work, fucking doing CAT scans with my RGB mask. Hell yeah, dude. Let's fucking go. That's just dope. I'm excited. I think it's cool. I don't know.
I have to see it. I have to see it in person. I have to put it on and see. And the price. The price is a big thing too. Like how much?
Price is a big deal. Obviously, yeah. It needs to be approved though. There's approvals and certifications from the Food and Drug Administration, the Center for Disease Control, and the Occupational Safety and Health Administration. So there's a lot of barriers that they need to get through before they get this actually up and rolling. But I like it. I don't know. I'm a geek when it comes to shit like that. I don't care at this point. I'll wear it. I'll walk around in public with it.
Your freaking red, freaking flashing lights.
Dude,
yeah.
White and blue and shit. Just like, come on.
It depends on how much it is, honestly. And my thing is too, like, do you think, not that COVID's going away, right? Obviously, it's here to stay. But do you think it's kind of too late in the game to be coming out with something like this because of like everyone's getting vaccinated and stuff like that? And you know, how long are the masks? I think obviously people might be wearing a mask for a very long time. Yeah. But how long? You know, are we 2 years out, 3 years out from not?
Fair point. Yeah. I mean, this can be something that you know, states can start, you know, allowing people to not use masks, you know, in public anymore, and then that kind of defeats the purpose of.
There's there's actually a couple states already.
There's a couple states already, yeah. So we'll have to see. I don't know, but I don't know. I think they should have done this a little bit earlier if they were trying to do this soon.
Yeah, you wouldn't have been able to get one because it would have been so crazy.
But I still think it still has a place here. I think it can still happen. I mean, again, we don't know. On the flip side, we don't know if and when we'll be able to not use masks in public, right? This can probably be something that can go 2-3 years down the line. And, you know, this might benefit them because of that.
And this is something you can't actually try, if you think about it. You can't like go in the store and like try it. Like you have to.
Yeah, that's true. You have to see it and just kind of watch it
because it's like you can't. Like, yeah, exactly. But it's like, is it really comfortable?
But I think about like when PAX opens up and like E3, like with the amount of people that are going to be there, maybe masks are going to be required regardless of, you know, if there's any restrictions or not in the public in general. Maybe when there's a certain amount of crowds, you'll have to wear masks. So this might be, you know, it might still be around.
Yeah, the first thing I thought of when you said PAX was I was like, remember how hot it is in there in the conventions, like how hot of all the people. But it might be better now they might limit the amount of people that are going, stuff like that, so it'll be, you know, easier. But we'll have to see with this.
Yeah, stay tuned because we're gonna definitely keep tracking any news on this because I'm interested in. I think it's pretty cool.
Kelvin's definitely gonna buy one. So
I'm gonna buy one.
He's gonna wear it while
I'm gonna wear it during the podcast. Yeah. I'm telling you, it's gonna be dope. Topic number 4. Let's go. Charizard sells for $300,000 at an auction. That's wild. So Pokemon cards have been having a bit of a boom lately, and nowhere is that more obvious than in the auctions for the holographic Charizard card that acted as the base set crown jewel in 1999. A third card featuring the Fire Lizard recently sold for over $300,000. Most expensive sold for $369,000 was in December of 2020. So my question to you, Rob, why do you think Pokemon is so like hype right now? Like why is everyone purchasing Pokemon cards at this moment?
2 reasons. One, the pandemic, right? People were bored in their houses, cleaning out their stuff, and they just started looking at it. Maybe they were like going to the stores and buying them and stuff like that because it was kind of a hobby you could do inside, and it was kind of fun. And I think the bigger reason for this is celebrities hyping them up, right? Logan Paul starts doing a vlog, and he starts to open Pokemon cards. Now everybody, you know, every kid, every person's like, oh, this is a cool thing to do now. Let me go collect Pokemon cards. So now they go to the store seeing like, oh, look at the value of this one. This one's so expensive. And doesn't help, you know, Logic. He bought a Charizard, I think before Logan Paul did. So I think that was like the 2 biggest culprits of this giant boom of getting into it again. It sucks for people that have been collecting for a long time because now it's like really hard for them to get product and enjoy their hobby. But it also is a resurgence of Pokemon cards. You know what I mean? Like it got me back into it, right? Like I wasn't really into it, and then slowly I started seeing more and more stuff. I'm like, oh, I had old Pokemon cards. Let me take a look, and now I'm like interested again in them. And
your story is interesting because you obviously you're you know, we're Pokemon fans and stuff like that, but you weren't really collecting Pokemon cards at all, like you said, and then like all of a sudden this year or like the end of last year, you kind of started picking up Pokemon cards, and then you're like, you told me one day, you're like, hey, Kelvin, I think I'm just going to start collecting Pokemon cards again. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, do you. Like, this is great. And ever since then, you went hard. This year especially, you went hard. So when do you think this, like, do you think this is going to be a continuous like thing throughout this year, at least for Pokemon?
I think what Pokemon needs to do is the Pokemon Company, they need to pump out as many cards as possible. Like they need to have as a lot of product available because
but then that's saturating the market.
Yeah,
that's
exactly. But exactly,
so you want the market to kind of like pop. Slow down as far. Basically.
It kind of needs to pop for normal people to enjoy the hobby again, to afford it, especially like kids and stuff like that, because they can't go and it's scalpers that are buying all that stuff up. You know what I mean?
But isn't that the kind of rush behind it? Like you know, you're trying to find this Pokemon card. It's hard to find, but when you actually find it, like it is hype as hell. Like
the rush comes down to buying the packs, right, and then opening them. That's the rush. It's not necessarily trying to find the packs. Trying to find like the cards themselves in the store is extremely frustrating. That's not like oh my god, I finally found it. Like that's like I know like people are buying these to try and scalp these, and just like dude, like come on, you know?
Yeah.
So, but speaking of that, do you want to tell people about what's coming up this weekend?
What are you talking about? So I'm kidding. Yeah. So you're posting this Saturday, you said, right?
Yeah, I'm going to post a video on Saturday.
So Rob has a pretty cool video coming out Saturday. It's him and a couple of our friends opening up Pokemon cards. And it's going to, I mean, you can kind of go into more detail about it than I am. I don't really know what Pokemon packs you're opening or whatnot. If you want to wait for the video to kind of pop, but
it's a rare sealed, it's a rare set that basically like from when we were back in the day. I don't know if you remember like the gym challenge stuff, like Misty's this, Charizard's this.
Yeah. Also, that's that.
It's that booster box. So we go through and open that pack, and the box itself is worth $10,000. So we opened $10,000 box of Pokemon cards. Just
threw money away like nothing. Cool. That's all good.
Yeah,
that's cool. So it's gonna be posted Saturday. What time? Do you know?
I'm not sure about the time yet. Well, I'll post on the Instagram and stuff like that when it get released. But take a look at that. It's a long video because we open a freaking whole box. It's like 36 packs. Like,
oh god.
But yeah,
awesome,
fun stuff.
Check that out, guys. That's gonna be interesting to see. I'm definitely gonna check it out and see because it'd just be cool to see you guys just kind of like opening packs and just seeing your impressions and expressions of the cards that you got.
Yeah, it's like a nostalgia thing too.
Did anything? I don't want to spoil it, but like anything crazy, or you don't want to share?
We get some good stuff. There's some good pulls in there. Yeah.
All right, check that out, guys. Topic number 5: BMW charges extra for auto high beam feature. So when you typically think of a luxury car, do you envision like rich leather seating and extravagant trim, advanced cruise control and intelligent self-parking?
Yeah.
Whatever you're imagining, I'm betting dim my headlights so I don't blind other people, isn't it? So basically what BMW is doing is putting a paywall for simple features or features that other companies already have in light of just putting a paywall so they can just charge you for something that the car already has. The car already has this feature, but you're just activating essentially just the feature for it, and you can purchase it in your car itself. So specifically what BMW is doing is putting a paywall for the auto high beams in this topic here, which is absurd. I don't know. Like my car has this feature. I don't pay a dime for it. It's just part of, the car.
You paid for the feature.
I paid for the feature when I paid it. Exactly. Yeah, so I'm not paying an extra fee for it now, but it seems like BMW is doing this, and they have been doing this for quite some time. So what do you think, man? Like what's going on here?
I think the way everything's going is everything's going to be a subscription based. That's just way companies are going towards, right? Because they want that customer forever, right? Like they want, for example,
So real quick, so you're purchasing this feature to have in your car, but it's not a monthly charge, right? It's a one-time charge.
It's not, but I guarantee you it's going to start shifting into that. Like, for example, my car, I have an app for my remote start, right?
Yeah.
you have to, if you want to use that app, you have to pay every single year to use that app.
I have that same thing. Yep.
So, I mean, I get it free for like 3 years because it's the new car. But after those 3 years are up, I have to pay every year for that. So it's like, okay, as long as I want remote start in my car, I have to pay $100 a year or however much it was,
But that's a little different. And the reason being is because that's more of a like, I know we're talking about luxury cars here, but this is more of a luxury in a sense of like, you're doing something that you don't necessarily need as part of your day-to-day driving. This is kind of essential in a way. Like, you don't necessarily need the auto feature per se, but this is something that the car already has. Yeah, if you want extra bells and whistles, like what you're talking about right now, having an app that starts your car, like that's pretty, like I have that same thing and I use it. I utilize it every day. But that's more so of like
an add-on. It's like an add-on.
It's an add-on. It's more like a luxury thing for me because I like, I want to do that. It makes more sense in my day to day. But this is a little different. This is essentially putting a paywall of something that the car already has. And in order for you to utilize this, you need to purchase it from your car. So it's a little greedy in that sense, right? I mean, I don't know. This is something that should have been already purchased when you purchased a car, right? It's it includes, it's included in your car, not something that you can purchase later down the road. I mean, this is something that, if anything, this is like a health or a safety feature that needs to be, implemented in a car. So why are you putting a paywall for a safety feature?
I have a question for you. Do you think that the reason why they're doing this, obviously, one is to get money for this, right? But is it cheaper for them, BMW, when they're creating the car from the factory, right? Okay. Yeah. We only need to come out, make this particular model of car, right? Say, for example, 3 Series, 325, whatever.
Yeah.
But now we don't have to make another one that doesn't have the headlights in it, like that whatever module it is to like do like that. So it's easier to manufacture that car because you don't have to take away one part or replace one part of like a cheaper part for the bottom level. Do you think
you're essentially turning on and off things that it's still in the car? You're just kind of like turning it on and off, basically.
Yeah, where they don't have to, like, in their manufacturing line, they don't have to create a separate line.
Remove it. Yeah, exactly.
So that could be part of it too.
Yeah, but
from a manufacturing standpoint.
Sure. I think that's what they'll tell you. But I think at the end of the day, like you said, it just revolves around money. I mean, why else would you put a paywall for, you know what I mean? Like, that's something that I just don't see. I don't understand why. I understand from a business perspective for sure. I just think it's shady in my opinion.
This is a weird thought. Say when that car gets older and that person sells it, can that can that old owner go in and
I bet you not. I bet you if it's sold, that person has to repurchase that. Whoever the new owner has to repurchase that.
Repurchase that app?
That feature, yeah.
Or whatever the feature.
Yeah. That's my guess, but yeah.
But then if you sell it and that person never activated that feature, could that new person go in and just activate it? Probably, right?
Probably.
The register.
It's just weird the way how cars are going now, right? Like
yeah,
we're kind of going towards cars, like car tech nowadays, and this is definitely one of those that are like, wow, like you don't think about those things, right? Like you're just kind of going by your day, and then when you hear something like this, when you start reading, like newsletters and stuff like this, you're like, oh wow, like yeah, that's kind of shady in a sense, but like it's not surprising. Like I'm not surprised by this. Are you?
No, I'm not surprised. I mean, like again, cars are becoming more like computers every day.
They are. Know? They have a computer chip in them.
They have several. They have several computers.
So it's like, yeah, cars are computers in a sense, but to do this, to get to this level where they're hiding or they're reducing the features that you have under a paywall is a little, I don't know.
And it's going to be more prominent when we start going all electric.
Yeah,
100%. You know, there's not going to be anything.
I mean, if you think about it, it sounds cool, right? Hey, I kind of want this feature that, lets it makes my car drive itself, right? Let's say now they start adding this feature where, Toyota, Honda, like all these manufacturers are able to put this feature in their car where they can actually have the car drive themselves. So you just have to purchase it. It sounds cool, right? Theoretically, it sounds cool. You go into your car, you turn it on, you play with the screen, and you purchase something in a simple click of a button. And now, boom, your car has an update, brand new update, and now you can drive, you can go wherever you want. The car drives itself.
So this is kind of like a thought I just had, but it's kind of neat to be able to offer that. Because think about it this way. Like you buy a new car, right? And God forbid, like some kind of health issue you get where it disables you from driving, like physically driving as far as like you can, like the pedal or something like that, or you can't put your hands on the steering wheel. Like you just can't drive, right? Or you have to buy a modified car that is able to let you do that thing. But like with this, it's like you don't have to get a new car. You just activate like self-drive feature in your car, and you don't have to really worry about it. You just pop in where you need to go, and it takes you. Instead of buying a new car or outfitting your existing car with those things that allow you to make the car function. So
again, it comes at a cost.
Yeah,
and it depends on if you are willing to pay that cost. All right. So now that we kind of had this ending conversation, it kind of sounds kind of cool. But at least for this particular feature right here, the high beams, like fucking auto high beams. You want to charge me for fucking auto high beams? Like
BMW, my Mazda has
like a luxury car.
All right,
exactly.
Kelvin's
a luxury
Toyota
car.
has
my fucking Toyota Camry, a fucking Camry has auto high beams, and you're telling me BMW, a fucking BMW luxury car, wants to charge me for auto high beams? Like, go fuck yourself. Like seriously, like. Come on.
No, not even charge you for the auto high beams, to use them that already exist on your car. Like
it's in there. Your car has the ability to do it. Oh, but you can't use it yet. You just have to pay us for us. No, come on. It's
bad move, BMW.
This pissed me off. Topic number 6. Fuck this. Biden administration looks to organize vaccine passport development. So this is from The Verge. Shout out to The Verge, by the way. They always help us out. They always hook us up. They're the homies. So the Biden administration is working on plans for how to manage credentials that would let people prove that they've been vaccinated against COVID-19. The Washington Post reported, often referred to as vaccine passports. These credentials could be displayed on free smartphone apps or printed. Many companies say they'll ask for proof of vaccination before letting people attend concerts or travel. At least 17 groups are working on their own versions. New York State is already using a pass developed by IBM. So, what do you think about this? I think it's pretty cool. Is this like the new norm, you think? Is this going to be something that you're going to constantly be seeing throughout the states? And it's just like, hey, here's your passport, and this is also your vaccination card?
Yeah, I think this gets kind of complicated, right, without getting political. So I'm going to try and like say,
yeah, let's try it.
I'm going to try and steer clear of that.
Yeah,
right?
For sure.
Just stay more on the tech side of it.
Yeah.
And it's feasible, right, to have these passes on your phone. And just like if we want to go back to normal life and stuff like that, we got to show that we're vaccinated, because obviously we don't want someone being a carrier and then it affects everybody, right? So we're being safe by doing this, right? Mm-hmm. My thing is, how is it going to affect getting into venues and this kind of stuff, getting into restaurants and that kind of stuff? Like, is it just going to be like what if my phone battery dies or something like that? I don't have, you know what I mean? Like, it's going to be so reliant on the phone. And then, not to mention, some people don't even have smartphones. I mean, don't get me wrong, like a lot of people do, but a majority of people don't have actual smartphones, and they don't know how to like use apps and stuff. If they have like someone who's like older or something like that, like they got to find the app, they got to like.
See, here's the thing. I don't buy that excuse anymore. I think in 2021, I've seen like older. I've seen the elder people, the elderly. Yeah, no, people,
I'm not saying like I'm not defending them by any means. You know what I mean? Yeah. But there are people that exist like that.
There are people that exist, and I think to counter that, I think there's always going to be options. Just like now, I feel like we have options. If you want to, let's say, I don't know, show proof of purchase, you can either hand them your phone and you have your email, or you can give them a hard copy. And I think that's it's not gonna be any different. I think obviously a lot of people are gonna go towards the passport vaccination on your phone, like the app itself.
Yeah.
But there's also gonna be an option to literally print it out and have it in your card, in your wallet, and then you can just show people like an actual license or something like that. I think there'll definitely be options. Everyone's obviously steering more towards the smartphone side because that's just how everything is nowadays. But I think for those that are not tech savvy and are not having a smartphone on them on day to day, there's options for them to print them out and they can go about their lives. But I think this is the norm for sure. I think we will have to be expected to carry some type of credentials or something like that kind of proves that you are vaccinated, and it's just going to be a norm. It's just going to be something that you go to, anywhere you go. If you go to the airport, you would have to show that, and I think that's safe, like you said, and I think that's something that needs to be done. I think I don't have any issues with that.
Yeah, for me personally, and for you, it takes 2 seconds. Like, okay, here you go.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Here's my license. That's how I think of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's cool. I'm excited for that, and I kind of want to. I'm hoping this is going to be something sooner rather than later. I know they're working on it now, but I kind of want it to kind of start getting into normalcy, so you can start going to, trips that you would like to, Florida, whatever you want, and then kind of have that passport and just go about your day. You don't have to worry about anything else.
Now, do you see this like eventually going away? Where you don't need to show your passport anymore. This is just going to be the new way of life for right now, and then obviously it is. But
for right now, I mean, I don't think COVID's going away anytime soon.
You think 3 to 5 years we're going to still be showing our passports that when we have to go to a venue or something like that?
It's hard to say if COVID's still around. I think it just
depends on the infection rate. Yeah, it just depends on how the infection rate. If no one's getting it, then
yeah, if COVID's still around, then for sure. And I don't think anyone should feel any type of way about it either. Like, there's a lot of people that feel some type of way because they have to wear masks. Like, that's your opinion, sure. But, like, at the same time, just fucking wear the mask. Like, I don't know. For me, it doesn't bother me. If I go to the store, it's annoying. I forget it sometimes. I have to go back to the car.
Yeah, exactly. We're working out and stuff like that, you got to wear it too. And it's just like,
yeah.
But
it's a safe thing. And I mean, like, even if it's not, if you're not protecting yourself, just protect others. It's not. It takes 2 seconds. That's all. So I think this is great. I think, like, not going too much into the political side of it, I think this is great. It's cool.
Yeah. So obviously we kind of touched like people going upward or having to show that pass and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Like now, but you said there's 2 routes to, get the pass, right? Obviously
that's my guess, right?
Or a paper pass, right?
Right.
But there's already people forging the paper ones, like they're making fake ones. So the fake one, okay, here's my papers for that, but then like how do you like
prove that?
Like how do you prove it, right? How do you prove that like it's a real thing? That's the thing. That's where
I mean I can't. They have to be smart about this, right? Do I think? Let me take a step back. Do I think it's just going to be something that you get in your email and then you just print it out? No. I would hope that you would have to take some type of steps involved to get this card, to get this passport. Whether they do something in your state and it has to be...
You probably just have to log in with your credentials and it registers if you got it and stuff like that.
And it's like an actual card, maybe? Like it's an actual card that's, it's approved by whoever the state or whatever that kind of shows, it gives you validation in that sense. I can't imagine it just being a floppy piece of paper and you're like, here you go. Like,
Might be.
I mean,
I imagine it might be like something that you, like a barcode at least on it so you can scan that.
Something that can verify it. That's what I'm trying to say. Exactly. I can't imagine it being just a piece of paper with like your handwriting saying you're vaccinated at this date. I think it should be a little bit more, yeah, like I think it should be a little bit more professional in that sense, especially for something like this, right? Well, we'll see. I don't know, but that's my guess. I think there will be two ways to get this: either hand copy, whether it be like an actual card that's laminated or something, or your phone.
Yeah. Regardless, it's a new normal, and our normal is constantly changing.
Exactly.
Right. So, but we're trying to get to the regular normal. We're trying to get.
We're getting there.
We're getting there. Slowly but surely, we'll get there. So,
ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. This was a wrap up for our episode today. Appreciate everybody watching us and hearing us as well. Please give us a like, give us a follow. We post our Game of the Weeks every Wednesdays at 12. So check Rob's Game of the Week for this week. Post it up now. We post our podcast every Fridays at 12 p.m. as well. So please take a look, like, share, subscribe, follow us on social media. And thank you so much again. I appreciate it. Rob, any final closing thoughts or?
No, again, that video I'm going to be posting about the Pokemon stuff will be
posted Saturday.
Posted stuff. We have some stuff there too. Kelvin has a dash cam. If you're looking for a dash cam video, go ahead and watch it out. It's actually, I'm thinking about picking one up. You should have gave the one you reviewed to me. Now I'm thinking about it.
Very true. Very true. I didn't think about it. Check it out. We have a bunch of stuff on our YouTube channel. And yeah, it's been great, Rob. I will catch you next week.
Yeah, I'll see you next week, man. It was a good episode.
All right, man. Take care. See you.